Industrial Revolution occurred in England during the 18th century. The Industrial Revolution marked a major turning point in the Earth's ecology and human relationship with their environment, and it was also the kickstart of global warming. Why in England, you may ask? Well, the Industrial Revolution was underpinned by the Agricultural Revolution. It happened in the mid-18th century to the mid-19th century, and agricultural production increased significantly. The huge increase in food output supported the expansion and sustained a large population and boost trade. So as you can easily see, with more production, more food, you get more people. So we have a demographic revolution. And people end up leaving the towns to the cities, to the industrial towns, where they can find a new home located close to the factories where they can textiles such as cotton from North America and wool were produced on a relatively small scale in local homes and then sold to public through merchants. As a result, every piece of clothing was unique. Through the course of the 18th century, several advancements made textile manufacturing better. High quality, durable clothing could be mass-produced finally, and was made increasingly affordable to the middle class. Another factor that made England being the mother of industrialization was the fact that the Parliament was open-minded and always support innovative people, just as James Hargreaves with the spinning jenny and Edmund Cartwright with the mechanical loom. Ships and locomotives are a major part of industrialization, and to this process, England needed metals like iron and richer fuels like coal, so they could create a steam engine which powered the factory, locomotives and ships with coal. Luckily, England was blessed with a vast coal and iron reserves which proved valuable for the industry and their evolution. Roads and canals connect all England, which made the transportation of people and products easier.
Even though England had more resources, more capital and more workers every day, since people were leaving the land for industrial town. Industrial revolution brought negative consequences to people here, because the levels of pollution in cities were awful. People got a lot of diseases like asthma, lung cancer and tuberculosis, which led eventually to their death. The Industrial Revolution is also the beginning of global warming. A lot of studies showed that global warming suddenly emerged at this time, but people didn't know anything about this matter. There were more consequences on the environment that we can count, like dirty cities, overpopulated cities, clean skies become black and dark, and the green spaces started to disappear while factories were being made. Here we have two examples of the same city, Manchester. Before the Industrial Revolution, in this photo we see trees and clean sky, but in this, after the Industrial Revolution, we see a dark sky.
Industrial Revolution, the greenhouse effect started to be a serious condition in our society. But what is greenhouse effect? As you know, the greenhouse effect happens when certain gases, known as the greenhouse gases, collect in the Earth's atmosphere. These gases include carbon dioxide, methane, ozone, fluorinated gases, and nitrous oxygen. The greenhouse effect is related to the climate change, because the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere will absorb thermal radiation, and the Earth's surface at the lower atmosphere will warm. And as you can see in the graphic, this is increasing, and of the greenhouse gases concentration are largely attributed to human activities since the Industrial Revolution. Major problem which is happening now. Let's go back to the December 5 in 1962, when the Great Smog of London, or the Killer Fog, occurred. The Great Smog of London is a major environmental disaster in which a combination of smoke mixed with coal fog over London. The skies were so polluted that the result was 4,000 to 12,000 people almost dying of respiratory illness. But if you think this is not true, you can read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, because the image of the murky and mist of Victorian London has been immortalized by English literature.
Global warming is a real issue that we face right now, so we come up with some solution that we could to help the environment. Drive less, use public transportation instead of your own car, or ride a bike, or you can simply walk. Fly less. Airplanes produce huge amounts of greenhouse gas emission. Reduce, reuse and recycle. Plant a tree. Tree absorb carbon dioxide, keeping it out of the atmosphere. Use less electricity. Eat less meat. cows are one of the most bigger producers of methane, is supporting alternative energy source that we burn fossil fuels.
Remember, you can't master your future if you are a slave to your past.
You have the power, so make a better world.
So don't let history repeat.